Ten Toes family, what are y'all doing today? Good morning. It's your boy Tony, and you're watching Ten Toes TV. Today we got a crazy video. Now check it out. I've been seeing a lot of these videos on TikTok, right? And they have to do with the 2025 predictions. And it's kind of crazy. If you realize, back then, and I'm not even saying like back then because I'm 28, right? But back when I was like maybe 15 or 16, and that time around, everybody was optimistic for their future. Everybody, they seemed like they had a plan. Everybody, they seemed excited. But now nobody has plans. Everybody's fearful for their future, and we can't tell you what the future lies ahead. We don't know what lies ahead of us. And that's what's kind of crazy. But today we're going to be jumping into the 2025 predictions. And if you guys know me, this is going to be a wild one. Not only that, we're barely in we're barely in the third month still, and all this has happened. Now imagine we still have a lot of months to go. We still got 9 months to go, guys, and this is barely the start of it. So let's get into the video. Also, what are y'all smoking on today? Me, I got an Infuse Super Fog. These things are good as hell, and it's a what is it? ATF Alaskan Thunder F, and yo, this one right here, this is the moves, but no more of this. Let's get to it. All right, without further ado.
The Year of Reckoning. Are we ready for 2025? The year 2025 may mark a turning point in human history, referred to by some as the Year of Reckoning. Scientists have predicted a rare cosmic event, a planetary alignment occurring once every 26,000 years. This phenomenon, expected in January, could trigger a series of devastating natural disasters and unexplained global changes. In January, massive earthquakes may level entire cities as tectonic plates shift with unprecedented force. By March, relentless electrical storms could fill the skies, creating an unending barrage of lightning and thunder. By June, the destruction could escalate further, with some nations potentially disappearing from maps due to catastrophic floods, tsunamis, or other mysterious events. What's most disturbing is the apparent synchronization of these disasters. Every event seems perfectly timed, leading some to speculate about the involvement of a higher unknown force. Ancient civilizations left warnings about a great balancer, a mystical power said to intervene when humanity drives the world toward chaos. These messages, inscribed in ancient texts and legends, suggest that when the scales tip too far, this force restores balance, no matter the cost. Now, humanity faces a pressing question. Are we ready for what lies ahead? Can we endure these trials, or are we destined to become another chapter erased from Earth's history? The year 2025 could signify more than just another date. It might be a wake-up call for humanity to reflect on its impact and strive for harmony with nature. Only time will reveal whether we can survive this reckoning, or if it marks the end of our story.
Yo, yeah, that's crazy. That
What
is.
if I told you that this movie not only exposed the truth about things going on in our world, but there was also a scene in the movie where they predicted events that could possibly take place in 2025. The fact that this movie came out in 1988 and we're in the year 2025 right now makes it even more scary. So y'all pay attention and let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comments.
Projections show that by the year 2025, not only America, but the entire planet will be under the protection and the dominion of this power alliance. The gains have been substantial, both for ourselves and for you, the human power elite. You have given us entree to the resources we need in our ongoing quest for multidimensional expansion. And in return, the per capita income of each of you here tonight has grown, in this year alone, by an average 39%.
Director John Carpenter also explained his reasoning behind making the film and the message that he was trying to get across.
Matter of fact, right now it's even more true than it was then. We are manipulated by a lot of media around us. We are consumed by consumerism. And as you can see, the recent events in this country,
You know what? Let me just pause it right there, right? Yo, so everything he's saying is true. This is crazy. If you look on TikTok or anywhere else, right? And you know what? I have my questions about YouTube, but YouTube is pretty straight on it. But honestly, so every other media site, is putting out false news like it's no joke. Like it's crazy. There was a video that was going on that some crazy thing happened in Texas, but the people that were actually living there in Texas was like, yo, like that never even happened. And then some people are putting out, flood videos that happened last year, but they're making it like it happened this year on that same day. Like it's so much information, misinformation. There's so much misinformation going on in the world. It's crazy work. And then what he said, overconsumption. If you realize you can't even go on the TikTok shop, you can't, or TikTok or any other place without every video being something they're trying to sell. Every single video has a link to the TikTok shop, or they're talking about a regular day, but they're promoting something in the background. It's nothing is real anymore when it comes to anything authentic. Everything is made up. It's all planned. Like, and you know what? I'm not even real right now. This is not even real, right? That's crazy work. And one thing that's crazy about the whole AI thing too is they're able to manipulate videos that look old and that look 4K. So you don't even know what's real and fake anymore. They could be putting something right in front of your face that's real, but you wouldn't ever know. Let's get to it.
Are still among us. They do live, indeed.
I bet that. I bet they do. Shout out that man right there.
Okay, we're what? Like 9 days into 2025, like not even a little over a week in. I cannot be the only one who thinks like some weird is going on right now. I mean, like I said, we're a little over a week into 2025 and already some crazy stuff has happened. Like LA right now is like just burning to the ground. And then there's the Bourbon Street massacre that just happened. The guy like running into people on the road. What else? Oh, if y'all didn't hear about the alien head that they just discovered, go look that up. Please go look that up. Just weird stuff happening. And I'm in Colorado, so we get fresh air and we're in the mountains. But I've heard some people on the East Coast talking about, and even in the Midwest, talking about like weird smog in the air. What is that about? What is going on? Like, we need answers and we need them now. Like, I don't know. I can't be the only one who feels like this. And then all the talk of aliens and like weird sightings in the air. Y'all, I don't know. It feels off. Something feels off. I cannot be the only one who thinks that.
Yo, let me pause it right there, right from the whole shout out MTCC or what TTC. Yeah, so okay, either all of this stuff. So this is really scary, right? And there's only two options. Either option A, something really, really crazy is going on in the world for real. Like all of this that's going on in the world is for real. Or option B, and that would be that none of this is real. It's just a reach, and they're just trying to grab our attention because something crazy is going to happen globally. And I mean devastating. A major global crisis. And that's just speculation and it's just theory. So, it's only for entertainment and it's only, that's not the truth 100%. It's just two speculative theories. Let's get to it.
Read every fucking theory on how they built those pyramids. The Great Pyramid of Giza has 2,300,000 stones in it. Some of them they weigh between 2 and 80 tons. Some of them are cut from a quarry that's hundreds of miles away. These things point, that pyramid is shaped perfectly. Like, if you fucked up like a quarter inch there, a half inch here, by the time you get to the top, that thing's a mess. But meanwhile, it's not. It's perfect. It's also perfectly aligned to true north, south, east, and west. And they're not really sure how old it is. They think they date it to 2,500 BC, but that's just because of organic particles that they pulled from inside stones. But they also say that they probably could have sealed those stones and resealed those stones over time. You're dealing with like a gigantic mystery of unfathomable proportions.
Yep, Joe Rogan's right about that. That's real.
Let me tell y'all a true story. Be up and watch this video to the end. 2 moons in the sky. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Let's stop. Look at this. What? mean, how is this even possible? How? I've never seen anything like this before.
That's
I'm
crazy.
done. Come on.
2 moons, y'all.
Me either. Shh. Shut up. There are 2 moons up in the sky. How? And this just can't be real. It's not a game. I can't take this anymore. Come on. It's like the universe is putting on a special show just for us tonight. For real. Shh. Shut up. What is going on out here? Stop playing with me, son. This video is for entertainment purposes only. There's no way there could be 2 moons in the sky, because every night when I look outside, there's only one. Shh. Shut up. It's not a game out here, guys. You see what's going on out there? 2 moons in the sky? Oh, my God. What's next? Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and I'm getting tired of this, to be honest with you. This just confirms that up there is not. Shh. Don't you say it. You know what I was going to say. But I'm not going to say it because you want me to say it, and guess what? I ain't going to say it, but you already know what I'm going to say. Man, you know what I'm saying. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and you know what's going on. First, it was multiple suns, and then it was the moon. 2 moons, 3 moons, 4 moons. I mean, I don't know which one is real and which one is shh. Don't you say it. Stop playing with me, son. It's not a game out here, guys, and you know what's going on. But I tell you one thing. If I ever go outside at night and I see 2 moons, just going to go home and just cut my lights off.
Yo, shout out, true story. So I feel like the moon is somewhat like not the moon as a hologram, but I feel like they're messing with us in the skies for sure. And yo, shout out Tento's family. Just wanted to make sure that you guys feel the love, and thank you for the subscriptions, and thank you for everything that you guys are, watching with me. Some good stuff right here. And also, if the video seems a little bit different today, it's because I forgot to turn on my RGB lights. I forgot to turn those on real quick, and I'm already too far into the video. But big shout out, Big Daddy Baby Boy Draco. He's over there taking a nap. You big tired, baby boy. You've been a really good boy lately, and Draco really appreciates all the fans too. So thank you, Tento's Collective and Tento's family. Also, if you're new, thank you for joining the collective. And if you haven't joined already, thank you for watching it this far. Make it shit. Thank you for making it this far into the video, but let's keep getting to it.
That we have provided. Ukraine stands as an independent and free country. If Donald Trump were president, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv right now. And understand what that would mean, because Putin's agenda is not just about Ukraine. Understand why the European allies and our NATO allies are so thankful that you are no longer president, and that we understand the importance of the greatest military alliance the world has ever known, which is NATO, and what we have done to preserve the ability of Zelensky and the Ukrainians to fight for their independence. Otherwise, Putin would be sitting in Kyiv with his eyes on the rest of Europe, starting with Poland. And why don't you tell the 800,000 Polish Americans right here in Pennsylvania how quickly you would give up for the sake of favor and what you think is a friendship with what is known to be a dictator who would eat you for lunch.
Yeah, that's crazy work, but
let's get into
biased.
this one more time. We were talking earlier about safety precautions, and I'm at the grocery store, okay? Just came back out, and it's kind of hit me that I didn't touch on everything. You can't touch on everything in one video, but one of the things that I wanted to say and didn't say is get in the car and lock your door, okay? Just get in the car. Don't be paranoid. It's one thing to be precautious, and another thing to be paranoid. And I'm not saying walk around like a ninja all the time, just paying attention, right? We'll talk about the color codes of awareness some other time. You want to stay in yellow. You don't want to be in white. You don't want to be in black. Orange and red are sometimes out of your control, but you want to stay in yellow, which we can talk about at a later time. But anyway, you just have to be self-aware, situationally aware, okay? Don't live in fear. We're not living in fear. That's a bunch of bull crap. That's what they want. Don't bend the frickin' knee. So I'm getting myself revved up. We're not talking about that right now. We're talking about safety precautions. When you come out of the store, get in the car. Before you even put your seatbelt on, shut the door and lock the door. Especially you ladies. We talked about that a while ago. Situational awareness, right? One of the things I didn't say was, can you see in the car? Again, we're not being paranoid. We're just being aware. Oh, I can see in that car. Oh, I can't see in that car. It's got tinted windows. Oh my gosh, it's a white panel van. Spidey senses should go off. You know what I'm saying? Not all the time. But sometimes, right? Just pay attention to your surroundings. That's all I'm saying. Lock your doors, people.
Yo, shout out Scotty. He ain't wrong. There's a lot of cases going on right now about stuff like that.
Maui, California, Myrtle Beach. You want to know what all three of these places have in common? Smart cities. Coming to a
Yo,
city
she's
near
not
you,
wrong.
and very soon.
March 20th, 2025 will be a historic day for migrants in the United States. In a forgotten Simpsons episode, an unprecedented crisis hits Springfield when the government announces a mass deportation. Scenes show overcrowded detention centers, nationwide protests, and riots erupting in major cities. Lisa, outraged, leads a march as the White House falls into crisis. But the most shocking moment happens in the final scene. The president appears on national TV and, with a serious tone, says, "As of today, all deportations are canceled." Now, in real life, experts warn that 2025 could bring a radical shift in U.S. immigration policy. Coincidence or a yellow warning? Comment 2025 if you think this could happen.
That won't happen.
What about the U.S.?
So the U.S., from what we've seen, I told you about the camps, right? That there's the advanced urban warfare. So we think it's going to look like October 7th, but it's actually based on, and October 7th was probably also based on it. It's based on the Mumbai attacks that occurred 15 years ago in Delhi, India. And we believe this for multiple reasons.
What happened there? Before we dig into
Yeah,
that.
we talked about this, I think it was my first episode. It was basically a terrorist group, Lashkar-e-Taiba. They did a number, it's called swarming attacks. They did a number of attacks into Delhi, at a hotel, the Taj Mahal, I believe it was called, at like basically the train station, etc. The interesting thing about it, and this is why they're going to employ it now, is those terrorists were given kind of like latitude. One, they could change the location they were attacking, and they could change the modus operandi they were using. So for example, when they went into the train station, it was supposed to be a bombing. When they got in there, they said, wow, we can kill more people just shooting them than putting the bomb together, and they shot them. Another thing that they did is in real time, information was being passed to them. So when they were in the Taj Mahal, they were being told what was on the press and what the police were doing, and they changed basically some of their movements in the hotel to make the attack last longer, okay? So this is the part that's going to be different, right? So Al-Qaeda always wants to innovate when it does its next attack, right? So I've already told you about the innovation of the suicide vests. Well, do you know we really haven't had a suicide bombing in the United States ever? There's the Nashville guy who did the strange, blew himself up in the car early in the morning when no one was around. That's kind of it.
The AT&T building?
Yep. So we have not had a man walk up to a building with a suicide vest on in the United States. Americans don't understand this. Al-Qaeda knows this, right? So this is new and innovative, especially now. You don't have to walk upside of the building. You can walk in the building because of the advancement of the vest. The other thing is, in the United States, we haven't had Fideian attackers. Do you know what this is? I mean, you'll know when I explain it. If you fought in like, I don't know, Ramadi, Fallujah, you've seen these. So the concept is the terrorist fights to the death. So he's not exactly a suicide bomber, but he will fight till either all of us are dead or all of his people are dead, right? So this can go on for multiple days. You know, like the plan was for Mumbai, for example. So we think it's going to be a swarming attack, right? Multiple different attacks at one time across multiple cities. We think there will be suicide bombers just because some of the attackers went through suicide bomber training and they have these vests, right? And then we think there's these Fideian attackers who will carry on until they're killed. The Fideian matters, right? I was watching, I want to say it was like 8 months ago.
Let me just rephrase that. So these guys are trained, and we already overlaid the video of their training, and they are going to fight until they're killed.
Yes.
There's no stopping them.
Exactly. And that matters, right? So I was watching this video, and it was a suicide bombing in Kabul years ago. And it was the bomber blew up, okay? And then everyone starts moving in. The first responders move in, right? And then another guy walks in and blows up. We know this is a tactic, right? But if Americans don't understand this as a tactic and don't understand these attackers are going to fight to the death, think about that. So battle's going on. The attacker surrenders, right? he might have the suicide vest. You know, we let our guard down. That man came to die, right? He's going to fight till he dies or you dies. So we can't let our guards down, and they know our weakness, right? So we have to be very careful that we don't have more people die in these second and third order effects of not knowing their intent.
What kind of places do you think they're going to target?
So this is what's complicated. So Al-Qaeda's preference, as you can imagine, is symbols of the U.S. or anything that causes economic damage, right? So Capitol is a great symbol. Capitol was actually in, I think the Capitol is, a lot of people are targeting it, but the Capitol was in their propaganda just as 9/11 when they were memorializing 9/11, right? So the Capitol matters. I feel like bridges or any kind of public transportation always matters because it puts costs against us and it causes fear. But here's where it gets complicated. So remember, the terrorists might have their goal is they're going to attack the metro in DC, right? But remember, some of these terrorists are going to be ISIS. And remember, they can change location. So the ISIS guy might go down the metro and say, there's not many people down here. I'll kill 20, but there's a event going on. I'm going to go up there, right? And because ISIS is a little different. ISIS just wants mass casualty. So it's going to be interesting how it works with terrorists that came from different backgrounds and when they get choice.
So some of these terrorist organizations are looking for very strategic stuff like U.S. Capitol, you know, basically U.S. governmental infrastructure and in elites. And then on the other hand, you have what I'm used to seeing when we were over there. They just look for the easiest, the easiest, biggest target because they want to kill the most amount of people in the quickest amount of time and get the most press out of it. And so that would lead me to believe universities, churches, stadiums,
farmers markets, those type of things.
How many people, how many fighters do you think we can expect in each attack?
Well, the 1,000 is all of them. So we're calling it's an Al-Qaeda planned attack, but within those 1,000 terrorists, some of them are ISIS because they want ISIS to be blamed. We have a theory on it. I hate to throw out theories. We think the actual like.
It's the first time I think you've ever thrown out a theory.
I know. I just think people like she's crazy. I think the more of the fighter types are going to be ISIS because then if they're caught, you know, then they talk. I'm ISIS. I think more of the suicide bombers are going to be Al Qaeda.
Will these attacks do you think these attacks will happen simultaneously throughout the United States, or will they be one day here, next day here, another one over here next week?
So they want them coordinated. I don't know if coordinated means all at the same time, or if coordinated means we do it Monday, we do it Tuesday, we do it Wednesday, we do it Thursday, we do it Friday, just do 5 straight days. So, but they want it coordinated. What's coordinated mean? And the other argument we have, does coordinated also mean US and Europe at the same time? And is Europe all coordinated at the same time? So when they say coordinated, we don't know exactly what that means. So they could also be US and Europe at the same time, which is complicated.
Do you think Europe will see mass casualties, or earlier you kind of mentioned that you think that the primary target in Europe is still U.S. embassies?
No, that's for the wave. So remember, there's a wave of embassy attacks, but then there's this multi-coordinated attack. It's a completely separate wave of attacks. So they're going to get the same October 7th attack in Europe as we're getting in the U.S., as planned right now anyway. And they also, so 1,000 terrorists were supposedly trained for the US and deployed, and 1,000 were supposedly trained for the Europe attack and deployed. The embassy plots are completely different with completely different trained terrorists.
Man, why haven't they hit yet?
Because the training takes the time. So for
they're
Israel,
here. They're here though.
Supposedly. Yeah.
Okay.
They got here.
Let me ask, how long have they been here?
I'm not sure, but if we just do math.
A while.
Right? Israel, they trained 500 terrorists, right? They got a longer timeline, but they were planning to train 500 in 3 months, right? 2 months. So they were going to train 500 in 2 months for Israel. So they can, For Israel, they did it really quick, but it would have been half-assed. They luckily ended up with a year and a half. But then remember, I told you they had to train 10,000 for Syria. And I think that gets completely ignored, okay? So they have this huge number, and we just saw what the effect of it, right? So the 10,000 for Syria, and some went to Iraq, became the priority. And then we think the homeland attackers were in there. And then that's training's done too, if that makes sense. So they are training for multiple phases at the same time. So it takes time to get through all the training.
Man, this stuff scares the shit out of me.
Damn, that was a lot of information to take in.
Better start looking for a bike because gas is about to become a luxury. The Simpsons saw it coming. In a 2010 episode, Homer pulls up to a gas station and nearly has a heart attack. Prices skyrocket in real time, and the attendant panics. Are we selling gas or human organs? And now, in real life, America is on the edge of an energy crisis. Trump raises
Very
tariffs,
true.
China strikes back, refineries struggle, and analysts warn. By April, gas prices could hit historic levels. Coincidence or a yellow warning? Comment GAS if you don't want this to happen. Follow me for more predictions.
No internet on March 8th, 2025. The world
Let me
loses
pause it right
internet.
there. Shit, if that happens, like, explained in the last video, y'all gonna catch me on the heelys. Got me messed up with the the gas prices, but I'm gonna be rocking them heelys. Let's get to it.
Just as people are gearing up to celebrate International Women's Day, a massive submarine crashes into the main internet cables on the ocean floor, causing widespread damage. Powerful storms prevent repairs, cutting off global connections. Phones lose service, computers can't send messages, and workplaces shut down. Online events and celebrations are disrupted, while smart devices, security cameras, and digital assistants stop working. Banks close, stores only accept cash, and ATMs fail, leading to long lines. Traffic turns chaotic without GPS, schools lose access to online systems, and hospitals rely on paper records, slowing healthcare. Ships get lost without digital navigation, while planes stay grounded, disrupting travel and trade. Food delivery apps crash, and digital payments fail, making cash the only option. With no internet, people spread news by word of mouth. Despite the global disruption, International Women's Day continues, bringing people together in person to celebrate women's achievements. Follow for more fictional stories.
Yeah, that's crazy work.
Expects a lot of changes by the end of this year and going to next year. Next year is the year of the snake, 2025. The snake always sheds its skin. 1989, the Berlin Wall fell. 2001, 9/11. 2025, we'll have some kind of reset.
Damn. Something big's gonna happen then.
If you notice, 2024, I said
That's
this
for
on
sure.
the show last year. People are all going to be about money this year.
Yup.
A lot of people are struggling right now.
A lot.
A lot of people, the economy is real bad.
Terrible.
Said that would be a side effect of 2024, 8 universal year. Next year, people can go right back into numerology and astrology. I called 15 out of the past 18 championships since the year 2000 of all the big sports. And I'm talking about when they get to the championship game, NBA, NFL, baseball, and hockey.
Damn.
So 15 and 18, unfortunately, the Boston Celtics were not one of those picks.
Okay. You had the Mavericks?
I know Cuban, so I tried to, I'll take my 83.3333 win percentage. I'm okay with that.
And that in sports betting is like insane. Like people aim for like 55% in sports betting.
Yeah, if you get 54%, you're considered expert by some people.
Yo, that's kind of crazy work. Yo, that's the end of the video, right? Yo, Ten Toes family. I just want to say thank you for making it this far into the video. Make sure to like and subscribe. That really does help the algorithm, helps me get out there. But okay, so I don't know if that was a reach. And what I'm saying is, I don't know if he started talking about sports betting, to distract that part of the conversation. But I think that is real. They're talking about how good the economy is, but there is a lot of people struggling. And for years and years and years, there's been a lot of people struggling. But now, everybody's struggling when they're normalizing living in RVs and living in cars and van life, and that's not normal. That's not a normal thing to do. Being in a home, this is normal. And I understand some people have their struggles. They might need to live at a hotel or, live somewhere. I know things are really, really expensive, but and it's not the fact of them living in their cars because everybody has to do what they have to do, but it's the fact of them normalizing it. And that's just what everybody's doing now. But yeah, everybody's going through some troubles. Even me, I'm going through some troubles. But me and my wife, we always figure out a way and we always make that shit happen. Because that's what you got to do when you have kids. You got to make it work and you got to always conquer. Always, always for them babies. Always. But yeah, thank you very much, Tento's family. And we're going to be having some good videos coming out this week. So stay tuned and on to the next one. Later.